Hello, everyone. My guest today is Ali Tajsekandar. He is the founder and CEO of a company called Wishpond. If you're not familiar with Wishpond, they play obviously in the social media marketing space. We'll dive into the story right now. Ali, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Tell us about the company. What do you do and how do you make money?
So basically what Wishpond is a marketing automation platform, and it's focused on helping businesses of all sizes run successful marketing campaigns. So when we talk about marketing campaigns, we don't want to just focus on one part of it. It takes a lot of different things to make it successful. So we help them on providing them with tools for capturing leads with landing pages, contests, pop-ups, and so forth, and then giving them tools for tracking to better know who these leads are and what they've done, and who are the best ones to convert, and then also giving them marketing automation workflows to warm up those leads, send them, nurture drip campaigns and so forth to be able to close them. So it's basically vertically focused on running successful marketing campaigns.
Now, your verbiage on this has changed because back in 2011 and 2012, you were very much in the wildfire, Vitru, buddy media space. Two questions for you. One, why on earth did you not sell in 2012 when everyone else was exiting and the market was hot as hell? And why the pivot?
Well, actually, that wasn't the first time we pivoted. We pivoted a few times. The first time was we started as a local product search engine, so it has nothing to do with what we do right now. And the whole genesis of it was we wanted to help local retailers, specifically small businesses locally, to be able to get leads online. So the way to do that was you would come on our website or the mobile app and you would search for local, products from local businesses, let's say a pair of sunglasses. And then we would tell you which retailer has it in a store near you and for what price and who has it, with the inventory. That version of the business didn't work well for many reasons, including attribution and, data quality and so forth.
What years was this?
This was back in 2009, 2010, so early on. But through that, we started realizing, okay, our vision is still the same, helping businesses be able to make sense of online and getting leads, but that version wasn't going to work. So why don't we start focusing on building awareness and engagement for them on social media with social media contests and so forth? Then as we started doing that and getting success with it, we didn't want to stop there because we realized no one wakes up in the morning and saying, oh, I wish I could run another contest. Instead, business owners and marketing professionals wake up every morning saying, geez, how do I achieve my KPIs? How do I grow the business? How do I get more leads? How do I get more sales? And that is fundamentally different from just contests. So we wanted to have landing pages for that. We wanted to have pop-ups for capturing leads out of your website. But also we realized that the online marketing world is getting really sophisticated, and it wasn't enough just to get leads. You needed to do something with them. You needed to be more sophisticated to know who the best ones are and warm them up and convert them. So that's how Wishpond over time developed into being the full suite.
So take me back to 2012. I mean, I'm sure these guys, I'm sure Salesforce before they acquired Buddy Media. I'm sure Oracle before they did the deal with Vitru and Involver. I'm sure all these guys did due diligence and you came across their plates. Why not sell in 2012?
I honestly don't think we were really ready for it. I think we were still not mature enough for that.
Okay.
And from my point of view, also that means that it was premature to sell because we weren't really there. So we would have to sell.
And where though? How do you set whatever that where benchmark is?
Where in terms of product maturity, in terms of revenue, a lot of those things. So we were still developing in those ways.
Do you mind me asking what size were you back then? Like $1 million, 10 million in ARR?
I don't have the number in
front of me. A range is fine.
Back then, I don't remember. What I can tell you is what we are around right now.
Okay.
We're basically in the. If I want to give you a range, it would be around somewhere between 6 and 10 million.
Okay. Now, obviously, you were smaller than that back then, right? You've grown. Yeah. Okay, good. So you're trending in the right direction. So take me back. Kind of help me understand where your brain was at when you started the company back in 2009. Like, was this something where you just left corporate, you had to make it work, or you had a bunch in savings? Where was your head?
So I was fortunate enough to have an investor from the beginning. I worked at a couple of startups before when I was still going to, high school and, university. And one of the founders in one of those startups was impressed enough with me to say, when you later on start your own business or want to have your own idea, come to me first for investment. And I did that, I would say 6 or 7 times. And every time he said no. And finally, with the idea of Wishpond, the local search version of it, he said, sure, let's get it started. And I got enough money to be able to
How much?
afford. It was, at the beginning, it was very little. It was like $80,000, just enough for me, who had just got married and was finishing my MBA, to sustain my life. That was it. It grew quite a bit. We ended up raising around $3 million from him.
How much have you raised to date total?
That's the whole investment.
Oh, all from him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. We've been fortunate enough that way. And yeah, so basically that's how we started. Unfortunately, I didn't have to put my own money back then. Yep. Didn't have any money to put in.
And what are you at today now in terms of total customers paying for the platform?
There's around 2,500 paying customers right now.
Okay.
And yeah, so we're a team of 50 people.
50 or 15?
50.
And where are you based?
In Vancouver.
Everybody?
Yeah.
That's great. Canada. Okay. 15 Vancouver, 2,500 paying customers. And on
50.
Oh, 50. Yeah, sorry. 50. What do these folks pay on average? Like if someone's listening right now going, I want to start with Wishpond, what's the average kind of price? What are they paying on average?
There's 2 different ways you can use Wishpond. So one is do it yourself. One is done for you. So if you want to use the do it yourself platform, average starting price is around $100 per month. So it's actually very, very cost effective. If you want us to do it, at least to get you started on the right path, and there's a service element to that, then that goes up, and it could be $500 to $1,000 a month.
Got it. So this is not a pure. When you say you're doing between 6 million and 10 million in ARR, that's not all true recurring revenue. That has professional services built in.
Even the professional services has it's basically recurring. It's MRR.
How is professional
revenue is MRR?
How is professional service
professional
recurring?
Services? So professional services would be for getting you started. Then after that, you just continue paying monthly for the services, and then we'll try you to continue on your own.
Yeah, but so give me an example of like what someone might pay up front to get set up one time.
So it could be around $1,500, something like that, or $1,000 to get you started, and then after that you can continue. And then sometimes the monthly packages after that could be more expensive just because you want to be first line support and be able to go back to that account manager for your questions.
Okay, but the one-time fee, like upfront, do you include that in when you tell me the 6 to 10 number?
No, and actually the other thing is, in terms of our revenue, I would say 70 to 80% of it is pure SaaS software. So the service actually doesn't amount to much.
Well, that's what I was getting at. So 60 to 70%, let's say on the high end of 10 million. So, 6 million to 7 million of your annual revenue is pure SaaS, recurring product, people paying between 100 and maybe 200, $300 a month. The rest is kind of icing on the cake, professional services, starting fees.
That's right.
Got it. Okay. And just to be clear, on this low end of that, right, if you've got 6 million in ARR divided by 12, that's about 500 grand a month. If I divide 2,500 customers into that, that means they're paying each about $200 a month on average. Sounds about right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, with a SaaS company, and maybe this is why you have professional services, churn is always critical. So many times the setup fee will decrease churn. What are you guys looking at right now in terms of annual logo churn?
Well, we track it on a monthly, so it's around a little bit shy of 2% monthly. So that's actually pretty solid.
It's great,
especially for business like ours that campaigns a lot of times are seasonal or event based. And what we've recently focused on quite a bit is improving our onboarding and customer success, and we've seen that really help.
Yep. Yeah. So like of the cohort of people that pay you a setup fee, how low does your churn get on that cohort? Do you know?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's lower when we're involved on customer success or account management. The churn definitely goes down. Yeah, but I don't have the number.
Do you have a very predictable systems set up to drive expansion revenue year over year? And if so, have you hit net negative revenue churn yet?
We haven't hit a net negative churn yet. That would be great to have. No, we're not there yet.
Got it. What is expansion right now? Like from year 1 to year 2 on average, would you say?
In terms of like one of our subscribers, how much more they're going to pay us next year?
Yeah.
I would say average, they would start, second year, it goes, another 25%, something around that.
And what are they typically buying more of? Is it more seats, more campaigns, more leads, more features? What is it?
So our SaaS subscription is primarily segmented based on number of leads you have. So as they start getting more leads, obviously they will have to upgrade to continue getting benefit of the system.
That makes sense. Tell me about growth. So acquisition, like what do you spend to acquire a customer on average?
That's an interesting question. We spend very little, very, very, very little on ads. Next to nothing.
Like
really.
Less than 10 grand a month?
Yeah. I mean, and what we spend is mostly retargeting for people who've actually come to us already. But what we do really well, first of all, we have an outbound sales team as well. So it's not
how many of the 50?
How many of the
50 team members?
Outbound sales team right now is total 5 people.
Okay.
SDRs and AEs, 5 people. Yeah.
So if you do a fully weighted CAC, like include marketing and sales salaries divided by new customers per month, like what are you spending per customer?
For sales, so I can separate them. For the self-serve, most of it is coming inbound by people finding us through our blog or coming to our website or SEO. On our blog, we get around 200 to 300,000 visitors a month. And we have around 300,000 subscribers to our blog as well. So there's a lot of traffic that's coming that way. And those basically, there's no CAC. It's just the content that we write. And
well, it costs, there's a salary though of a person to write the content.
That's right.
Yeah.
But most of that is already there. The ongoing cost is very, very little. On the sales side of it, when it's outbound, I would say cost of winning an account is around $500, and then the average long-term value of those deals is north of $5,000.
Yep, just because of what your retention is, right?
Because of retention, and also we usually end up actually being able to get them on higher plans.
Yep. So you're recovering most of your acquisition cost, what, in like 3 or 4 months? If they pay $200 a month and then you spend $500.
That's right.
Interesting. So why not be more aggressive there?
That's the plan.
So where do you know how to spend more money to be more aggressive?
Yeah, for sure. So we haven't with ads, we haven't been able to. We haven't had much success in saying, okay, if we spend a lot more money on ads, we're going to get a lot more accounts, and that's actually profitable. And CAC and LTV are going to match. Long term, I think is going to match. With sales, we've been able to do that quite effectively. Basically, the plan right now, and maybe I'm sharing too much, is by end of the year, nail some of those numbers, and then next year we can actually start going a lot more aggressively. So outbound sales is where we can definitely invest more, and the more we invest, the more we're going to get very predictably at this point.
Yep. What were you, just so we can understand growth, take me back a year in December of 2016. What were you in terms of ARR then, like 3, 4, 5 million?
So we grew by around 25 to 30% versus last year, and our plan for next year is 50%.
Okay. So what? I can't do all that math in my head that quickly. So what is that? We were like at 4 or 5 million in ARR in December last year.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. So do you let's fast forward 45 or 50 days. It's the holiday party at Wishpond. You think you'll break like the $8 million run rate by the end of the year?
We'll be close.
That's a good stretch goal. It's close, but it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it will be uncomfortable.
All right. Ali, good stuff. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what is your favorite business book?
My favorite business book obviously changes from time to time. Recently, I've been a big fan of Predictable Revenue by Aaron Ross. I really enjoyed that. Really helped us.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying currently?
My favorite CEO is Warren Buffett. I really like how independent thinker he is. But generally, I don't follow CEOs that closely. I think I follow a lot of thinkers and try to model individual parts of each one. So, for example, one of the books that I'm reading and finishing now is The Long Walk to Freedom, the biography on Nelson Mandela. So on that one, I learned about bravery and things like that. I modeled that part from him and then so forth.
Speaking of Warren and how he likes to buy companies, if someone came to you, let's say Mark Benioff at Salesforce, and offered you, let's say 30 million, so like 3 or 4x ARR, do you sell the company?
I think that's pretty low, but we'll start talking.
What multiple do you think is like a good multiple these days?
Honestly, it depends on your growth curve, right? So I think if we execute the way we're planning, 50% for next year or 50 to 100% next year, then the multiples can be 6 to 10.
Got it. Makes good sense. Number 3, besides your own, what's your favorite online tool?
Beside Wishpond, my favorite online tool would be either Optimizely or Woopra. I don't know if you use Woopra. Optimizely, everyone knows, so I guess I'll go with Woopra.
All right, number 4. How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Right now, I try to get 8 hours.
Okay, and what's your
in the early days, I didn't. Now
okay, and what's your situation? Married, single? Do you have kids?
Married with a 15-month-old. So that's why I say I try to.
Yeah, and how old are you, Ali?
Sorry? I'm 35.
35. Last question. Take us back 15 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I think my 20-year-old self, I would say, hang in there. You're doing okay. Just keep at it. To my 28 or 29-year-old, when I started Wishpond, I would say code less and sell more. I think I was a coder way too long.
There you guys have it from Ali. Code less, sell more. For all of you technical co-founders listening, he launched Wishpond as something totally different back in 2009, pivoted many, many times. They've raised $3 million, have a team of 50 people based up in Vancouver, helping their 2,500 customers generate leads and manage those leads online with their marketing suite. And by the end of 2016, last year, they're doing about $5 million in ARR, very close to breaking $7.5, $8 million in ARR by the end of 2017, aiming for 50 to 60, maybe even 70% growth year over year. Ali, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much.